Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about My Hero Academia's new chapter, which is on chapter 343. Now, this chapter right here was actually pretty phenomenal, very nice, and it looks like to me we are about to enter the stages of possibly the final parts of the series or final battle of the series. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we have yet to decide on that depending on how Horikoshi's gonna do this right, you know? So if anything else, let's go. We get to see that All For One actually stole a quirk that lies, deceit, malicious intent will not work on him. Even if they were to pass on information, if he senses any kind of threat to him, he will know and not fall for it. So overall, All For One stole a quirk that would allow him to know lies, deceit, or anything that would threaten his life or threaten his position or something, you know? And we get to know to it that he actually stole it from some plain guy that worked with All Might to bring him down whatsoever, you know, etc. And because of that, we have to it that that Aoyama's parents told All For One everything that he needed to know, you know, that kind of thing. And we have to it, we see the next day involving Izuku having to find Aoyama-kun in a abandoned place right now, you know? We had to, they end up having to talk with each other, etc. And Deku is like, okay, we gotta restart the search party whatsoever. But we have to it, Aoyama talks to Deku about how the economy is really in bad shape right now. Like the Japanese money yen is not really in a good shape, and then we have to it that social instability is thrown throughout the world, you know. Ever since the Great Depression or the first appearance of Quark started, you know, things are starting to get a little haywire. And Deku's like, hey, what are you trying to tell me right now, you know? We have to it that Aoyama says when a nation loses their strength or their resource or something, they won't have anything to look forward to. But what happens if there's such a man that could give that kind of resource? Like, for example, like water, you know? Drinkable water. We have to it that that goes with electricity and gas, you know? All For One's goal is to become the Demon Lord where he can provide the resources and become the ruler of that world, you know? Especially when it's in the chaotic situation here and there. And we had to it that Aoyama says the power of balance will crumble around the world should something happen, and then only one man has a goal in mind, you know? And we had to it that Deku's like, well, that's not gonna happen right now, you know? Because we're still here. And Aoyama's like, yeah, as much as I consider it, I want to consider this my final gambit. And sadly, however, I want to keep my mom and father safe, you know? And all of a sudden, All For One appears right behind Aoyama, and Deku could only be in shock right now, you know? And All For One's like, well, you gave him to me as promised. You done superbly well. It must have hurt so much when you betrayed your friends, right? And we had to it that that Deku is really hurt by this and says, how could you? I really trusted you. How could you do that to me? And we had to it that All For One's like, what do you expect, kid? Now, ready to face death or something? And we had to it, Aoyama decides to shoot his naval laser at All For One, you know, as All For One expected that to happen and says, well, you ungrateful wretch, how could you do that to me? And we had to it, Deku knew that Aoyama was acting this up all this time, you know, and we had to it that Aoyama's like, well, I know I hate the idea of crime because I was scared as hell. I gotta give props to Aoyama, man. He put up a funny act like that, and we had to it that that Aoyama is planning to fight All For One. But All For One's like, you know, there's one problem, you know, etc. I actually have a cavalry with me, etc., you know. And we had to it that All For One uses his teleportation quirk and teleports a bunch of his the villains that he recruited to his side, you know. That includes Tomura Shigaraki, Dabi, Toga, and many others that decide to follow him, you know. And says, you know, because of your quirk search, you know, I will know that they're far away and you're done for. However, we get to see Kurogiri's quirk in action, and All For One's like, what's going on here? And Aoyama says a speech of hope, you know, where not everything is in in darkness, and etc. For if the world sees Japan fighting back against you and win against you, they will follow suit and lead the way. And we have too that Aoyama says that's why we're going to defeat you right here and now. And we see Endeavor and the other heroes right behind Deku and Aoyama getting ready to go into action. We even see our favorite hero, or our favorite woman rabbit hero, Miracle. She has a new arm whatsoever, which is nice prosthetic whatsoever. We get to see the ninja hero, Edgeshot, Endeavor, Fat Gum. We see Hado Senpai. Oh my gosh, everybody's there, etc., coming here to help Deku and Aoyama out, and the chapter ends off here. So overall, in this chapter, it was a nice setup. Overall, if I had to say it right now without a lot of complicated details, vague details, All For One cannot be tricked because he could sense that. He stole a quirk from someone who could sense malicious intent whatsoever, Could tell if it's a trap, it's a lie, or whatever case may be, Even through phone whatsoever. However, there is a weak point right here because but whatever the case may be, yeah. We had to it, Deku meets up with Aoyama, and Aoyama talks about Deku about the situation about the world. It's about to crumble, and All For One wants to be that center of attention where he can lead them to peace and prosperity, but he wants to become a ruler of that crazy darkened world, And then we had to All For One shows up, gets ready to attack Deku, but freaking Aoyama ends up using his naval laser to attack freaking All For One, and we had to eventually All For One brings in the cavalry to fight against Deku and Aoyama, and making sure Deku goes down for good and kill him is still one for all. But sadly for him, Kurogiri, we don't know what happened to him entirely, but it looks like to me he might have turned over a new leaf because of what happened. And then we had the hero shows up thanks to Kurogiri's black portal, and they get ready to clash against All For One once and for all, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a setup for the true final battle, I believe. I don't know what's bound to happen, but one thing's for certain is that I hope to see Class 1A and Class 1B in action right now, because things are about to get very hectic from here on out, because I'm pretty sure Deku and the others is not going to be fighting alone this time around. Not to mention, Deku's final quirk that belongs to the second user. I hope that one shows up for the final battle. I don't know, but one thing for sure, I hope it becomes a good one, because Deku right now, let's be honest, he is not freaking ready to fight Shigaraki and All For One together right now. No, it's suicide. Even All Might says it. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's gonna be crazy. Looking forward to how this plans out, Yeah, the second war finally begins, and things are about to get more bloody and maybe more crazy by the minute. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.